Good morning. Grab some. It's actually a little. Oh, that was green. See if that holds. I actually know now why guys with less hair wear hats. It's a little glary without. So, good morning. Got a few things to handle here this morning. Got some okay finds, nothing spectacular, and got some sales again. Okay sales, nothing spectacular, but stuff is moving. Like me and getting this coffee. All right. First up, this morning's sales. The green thing happened again, but it wasn't as bad as last time. Okay. This just came through. Green green pants, camo pants. These are older BDU pants. I really like these. I actually like having some on hand to do yard work. Always wear like the ones that have. I actually prefer the woodland camo anyway. I think I like the material better than some of the more modern stuff. But sold these for $20 shipped, which I believe is correct. Okay. Yep. $20 shipped for these. So just sold this morning. I think I had an offer. I put an offer out last night, and the guy accepted it. So gotta be real. I've had some sizes that didn't sell. I want to say some smaller sizes for shorter, stockier. I think didn't sell. These are. Remember, what size are these? Small regulars. So, but a lot of these, they're good condition, can go $15-20 for just about any BDU pants. The shirts don't sell. The regular standard issue shirts don't seem to sell. I also like getting the jackets, particularly if they have a liner in them. If I can get those for probably, I would say less than $5, I grab these. I think these only cost me $1 at a yard sale. So that's a good find there. Next up, that's a secret. That's going to be like one of those. If I actually manage to get some success and get some viewers, I may do one of those, but I'm not going to say what I do with those. All right. Next, Surprise Island by Barbara Willard. It's a children's hardcover. This is the first edition. $10. This book, $7. $7. Picked it up for probably $1 at Goodwill. Wasn't quite sure how this would do, but I noticed that it had pretty consistent sales in like the $7 to $10 range, particularly for good condition copies. Like, I don't know that I could have sold this if this was like an old library copy, but this one was clean, no markings, good pages, good binding. $7, so doing okay there. And finally, sale-wise, Haynes Honda Accord, 94 through 97. Haynes guides, I don't know why they don't do better, because these things are fairly expensive in the store and still seem to sell brand new at places like AutoZone and those types of places. but I got this at a yard sale for like 50 cents, which is why I usually don't get these anymore. But these were like 50 cents at a yard sale. And I think the older the car, the better. The ones for muscle cars do well. Motorcycles, ATVs, and boats do well. Uh, your regular consumer cars, not as they don't seem to do as well uh, as more real particular sports cars do okay. Uh, weird models sometimes, but other than that, I don't I think I've got one or two more of these listed. I typically don't pick these up. Uh, Now I have had. I remember one time I had like a big box of these. I just because I was experimenting to see if they were worth grabbing. I had a big box of these. I brought it to the flea market, and guys were going through them, and they would have sold easy at $3 a piece at a flea market if they had those. If that person had that vehicle, but they didn't, and they were perfectly willing to spend that much on them. But and a lot of people bring these out to flea markets and try to get like 10, 12, 15 bucks on them, and they don't sell unless they're like the muscle car type, real specific ones. But stuff like this, people try, and they just don't seem to go. So that's my sales. So next, going to go for my finds from yesterday. After I drink this coffee. Nothing spectacular. We'll go through the first. Primo Fallout 3 guide. I think this one was going for around 10, 12 bucks. The I don't buy a lot of the guides that are paperback. The hardcover guides that are like special, a lot of those are special, like collector's editions with maps and a lot more detail to them. People like the hardcovers of these, but this one seemed to be going for the right price. So we'll go with. I grabbed it. Then we'll see how. David Eddings' book. This was in the quarter bin, and I'll probably I may see if my wife wants this one because it goes with the Bulgariad cycle. David Eddings is an author. If you get some complete sets of his books, they sell. Otherwise, individually, they tend not to do great. But if you get them in lots, maybe you can get $2 or $3 a piece for them, wadded up, and you get enough of them, and it might work out that way. But that one, I need to show my wife. Next, Go Cultural Legacies. Local histories by local people sometimes do okay. Like somebody from Hilton Head, that area, may buy this. The other is they probably would still be from that area. That if somebody's doing like doctoral thesis or master's thesis work and need some sources, sometimes they'll buy up that they need local history works, and 8, 10, 15 bucks. Usually these types, occasionally you may find something, particularly if it's out of print and it's older, that may go for a good bit more money. Historians love it. I was a history major. Historians eat this stuff up. So local history stuff sometimes does okay. So that's that one. Next, I thought this was a really good find, and it's not, and that kind of made me sad. It's Anna and the King of Siam. This is the book that Anna and the King also was based on, that the musical with Yul Brynner, The King and I, musical with Yul Brynner, and I think it was Maureen O'Hare. But Yul Brynner like made his living off of doing that before he got into the movies and that sort of thing. He did that. That's what he did for years. Was The King and I. This is the book to it, 1944 book. It doesn't have the dust jacket. But I saw the title and I was like, "Ooh, let me grab that." And I thought this was going to be like a really decent find. It, well, it come to find it really wasn't. So I may try it on some. Get about $5 for it on some Facebook groups and see if that happens. If not, I'll put it in a pile of old books. And I probably need to get one together to put on eBay, or maybe after my next flea market, when I'll bring a bunch of them out to the flea market. But I'll put them up for decorate for people who do decorations, and sometimes you get $3 to $5 a book for old books that are clean and good shape. So we'll try that. Next, I survived books. I just sold a couple of weeks ago. I sold a handful of these on a niche Facebook book group, like children's book group or something. Got these 50 cents a piece. This is one of those things. If I it depends on what mood I'm in sometimes, but if I see 5 or more, I'm going to grab them at 50 cents a piece or less, because you can get $2-3 a piece of these plus shipping. So that's why I grabbed these. I think I got 1 or 2 more laying around here, and I'll lot them up and put them out probably on the Facebook group first, and then see if I can sell them that way. So I survive books. These are, I would say, these are, if you can get clean copy, 50 cents or less, it can sit on it until you get a few, worth grabbing. There's also some hardback that are omnibuses that do okay as well. This one, I need to relook this one up. This is Will the Church Pass Through the Tribulation? Hard dispensational. But what it is, you see, there's no publisher. What a lot of this happened a lot in the 60s and 70s and 80s. What you'll see is preachers at churches will it's probably a collection of sermons, and they'll bind them and sell them, usually out of Pentecostal preachers, and sometimes they found the following. And I've had reasonable success. This may be I'll have to look it up, but something like this may be 10, 12, $15. I've seen if they're really weird topics, and you trust me, this isn't a really weird topic for that. This probably it reiterates a lot of the same stuff that you hear that you can get in similar books from then till now until eternity comes. But these self-published books sometimes do okay. I came across a bundle from like a pastor's library in South Georgia that I got for really cheap, so it was worth taking the chance on. And I still have a few for sale, and I probably need to pull a bunch and just lot them up and see if that works. But these guys, usually they're collections of sermons, and if you got a pastor's kind of got a following, or you can lot them up and you get the right keywords of the theological terms, dispensationalism, end times, tribulation, that type of stuff. Sometimes you can move this type of stuff. So we're thinking about it, particularly if you get them cheap enough, 25, 50 cents a piece. So there's there. Finally, this was fun. I grabbed this hardcover Rick Riordan signed copy of The Tower of Nero. Riordan signs a bunch of stuff, so it's not like this is some rare find. Riordan, some of these guys sell a bunch of these. So then this looked like it was going like $20, give or take, on eBay. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop swaying and see if I can't get this up and get this on a little bit later today. But also, I probably would have grabbed this anyway because I don't have this one. I've got a stack of Riordan books, and I didn't have this one, so I was going to lot them up, because the lotting them up, is a good thing. You can get a little bit on eBay once you get them wadded up. And then I was like, ooh, signed copy. So this one's going to be going individually. Finally, what we're going to do is, earlier this week, I had some of these Ben 10 Omnitrixes, but I couldn't test them because the batteries were dead. And what we're going to do is check them out and see because I got batteries for them. Where'd my batteries go? There. These batteries are only like $4 for a pack of 12 on eBay. So, boom. And they were US. I mean, they're cheap Chinese batteries. There's nothing spectacular about them, but they're great for testing and selling stuff. Now you gotta figure out how you get them out of the package. Just pop them out. Just pop them out. Just drop them in. Nice. Oh, that was a noise. That was a noise. Tweet, tweet. All right. Oh, lid up.
Wow, look at the time. Gotta fly. Catapult coming through. Let's have a ball, alien scum. Have no fear. Diamond Head is here. I'm not much for small talk. Bring it on.
Boom. Worth grabbing. And that's probably $30 right there. I don't know. This one's slightly different. This one's white. I don't know if it has the same sounds or not, if it's a wholly different version. But I usually don't have... Electronics are usually worth testing. If it's not just if you know how, it's if you have the time and the space. And larger electronics and stuff I think I'd like to deal with eventually someday, like sound equipment. I just don't have the part of it's knowledge, part of it's space. I don't have a good space to do it. So also drop batteries. And that green tinge is annoying. Wonder if I need to unplug something else. Wasn't there yesterday, and that's annoying because I thought I fixed that problem. I really don't want to do this on the phone. I want to use a camera. But anyway. Small screwdrivers, kind of essential. Get one of those cheap little sets and usually, all right, turn on. Boom. All right. Works. Now I had another one that I think that was a little bit nicer because it shifted colors a little bit differently. So there's a couple others out there that are better than those. Those just turn it like the characters make noise. So $30, $20-$30 a piece on those is going to be an easy find. I think I got another one of those around here. I haven't looked for it yet. So before we get off, let's see if anything else sold as a surprise. I didn't get a cha-ching, but sometimes that thing gets delayed a few minutes. Not there, and we're going to check Poshmark. And nothing there. So looks like we're good to go. Oh, we're not good to go because I've got a few other things clothing wise. We'll go through. This was at the Last Chance Goodwill, and see. I think this urban clothing. Some of this does okay. You gotta look it up. You gotta know your brands, and you gotta look it up. I think that's a $15-$20 shirt. This one, I'm interested to figure out if this is a little bit older. It's not like vintage, but if this is a 90, this is 90s. Let's see, the tag is a little more modern than what I think I've seen before. So I think it's a little bit more modern, but this may still be 2000s, early 2000s. So it's a vintage style. It's not like microfiber or anything. So I'm interested to see how that comes out. I wasn't able to look that one up yet. And finally, this Western shirt. It's the pearl snap buttons. Carmen brand. The brand sells. This is almost like a floor of $10 to $15 that this probably will sell. It's not the best colors, but it was clean. I didn't see any spots on it yet. But the pearl snap Western wear shirts, it's like a little more stylized on the back, and sometimes the shoulders. These do okay. Guys still like these, so worth grabbing those when you can get them for $1 or $2 a piece, because selling them is because they will sell. So got those. So other than that, y'all have a good day. Enjoy your coffee. And don't enjoy that green tint. Bye.